How's it going? My name is Hoiman and this is my 4th book that I've published. The story is about 3 triplets in the royal family, but then the evil sorcerer invades the land and kidnaps this character Suby's older brother and younger brother and her family as well. And because she's like the shy sort of character, she needs to build up the confidence to basically fight back against the sorcerer and free her family and also free the land. And then on the way she'll meet various quirky characters and encounter threats that she has to overcome and defeat. So it's a very heroic sort of story with much action and emotional parts in between, and just overall just a very fun-filled adventure. Coming off my last book, which was quite a serious and in some cases dark sort of story, I wanted to kind of change the tone a bit for my next book, so I decided to go for a much more kid-friendly and children's sort of book. So that's why it's got a lot more colourful characters. It's a much simpler story and it's easier to follow and just has a much more fun and filled action adventure feel to it. My inspiration comes from playing a lot of video games really, and mainly with like Nintendo games and the Kirby games in particular. Like I just found those colourful characters very eye-popping and thought I could transfer those sort of inspirational characters into my own characters, so that's how I came about with these character designs and tone moving forward. Although I published this story recently, this idea actually goes all the way back to my college days back in 2007. And in that class I was asked to design a character, which I think it was just to like create a poster for. So this is actually the very first character I designed for this particular book. And in the end, he isn't actually the main character in the end. Like originally he was, but coming off my last book, which had a male protagonist, I wanted to go for a female protagonist, so I decided to convert this character into a secondary character which supports the main character. And this is actually the second drawing I've done of him, and unfortunately I can't find the very first concept art I'd done of him. So this is my sketchbook back in college in 2008, so this is the earliest art I could find of this particular character. And then when it came to actually writing out the story, that's when I had to design many of the other characters. So this is the sorcerer, and then I just did like a quick sketch of him in one of his forms, and then you have like spell circles and effects. And what I usually like to do is draw them out and then draw out each part and then scan it in and then put everything together in Photoshop. So here's this character again that I mentioned from my college days. So I redraw him in a more modernized kind of style, and then that's when I came up with the idea to design triplets. So this is the actual main character, and then this is her brother. And then these here are their weapons. And then going along the royal family, you have the king and queen and the uncle. And you also have the sacred fragments, the sacred sword, Viren, Larry, and then a Gao, which is an enemy that the character encounters in the story. Same with this shark character, Crunchy, and then another drawing of the sorcerer. My mascot character for the book's Momo, and then you have various other enemies that you encounter in the story. Same with all these various others. And then this is the actual royal castle itself, and you can tell that I drew it on a kind of concave sort of setting. It just kind of adds that more cartoony and kid-like vibe to it. And then these are actually drawings for the levels itself. So for each chapter there's going to be an image which has like level 1, level 2, and then these are just parts that I drew out and then put together in Photoshop to create the levels. Various assets, and then another drawing of the sorcerer. And you have, these are drawings of various scenes in the story. Again, more scenes. And this is the uncle's hut that you'll see in the story. More scenes, one of the royal guards. More scenes yet again. Because it's a children's book, I was more focused on drawings as much as the story, so I had to draw out a lot of scenes and stuff. This is actually one of the levels in its raw form. And then the second level, you can go and see, like I kind of went for very somewhat abstract sort of designs with the cactus. And then the next level, you can see like all the ruins and stuff. Again, all these locations I took inspiration from various children's books and video games. This is actually concept art for level 3, which was a location of underwater and stuff, but in the end I just ended up not using it. And then again, various assets that I put together for the characters. A major scene in the story. And then here you have more designs and scenes of various characters. You have the brothers here looking a bit more sinister. And then this is quite a major scene in the story as well, and it's actually one of the more complex and sort of mechanical kind of drawings, because it's the first scene that I sort of have the 3 triplets together and you have the sacred sword. But it was quite a challenge, right, drawing out all these, because you have 3 handles and each character holds on to a part. So it's quite a challenge to have it all looking how it does and positioning the characters so that they don't impede or block each other. But overall it's actually quite a fun drawing to do. And you have more scenes throughout the story. And this is another technical drawing, like you have all the detail and the bricks and all these lines. But again, these are more scenes in the story. And you have the triplets here together. The sacred pedestal. Another level that I had to sketch out. Again, this was quite a technical one because of all the lines down here. This is the level that I went with instead of the underwater one. And then a very abstract and crystallized level. More scenes. And then this is the uncle, which is going to be made as part of the cover of the book. And these are yet more parts, like these 3 are the main characters, the triplets, and then you have their wings. And then all these I kind of drew out separately so that I can put together. And this is the actual front cover itself, so this is all the base of it. And again, this was another technical drawing because of all the small details I had to add in. But I also wanted to include pretty much all the characters on the cover, and drawing at that such small scale was not really possible. which is why I drew them out here in bigger forms so that I can scan them in and then add them in later. So there was a lot of forward planning and sort of putting it together to form the cover, but overall it was quite fun still. And this is the logo. So I went for a very bold and strong outlined sort of logo for it. This is the compass that plays a major role in the story, and that will be added into the logo in the end as well. And then the second part of the logo. And then this is the final art that I had to do for the story, which is the main throne room. Again, it has some technical lines and stuff here. If you're interested in reading my book, please give it a try, and you can buy my book down in the description below. And to finish off, I just like to play you the main theme of Wings of Rebound, which I composed. And I don't call myself a professional musician or anything, like my knowledge in music is quite limited, but I do know how to play the piano a bit, and I have composed quite a lot of themes in the past. And Wings of Rebound is a theme that I composed and recorded recently. To go with the book, it's meant to be very adventure feeling, fun and action packed, and also kind of makes you feel that you're kind of soaring through the sky. So that's kind of the tone I went for the theme. Anyway, please enjoy. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, always look forward, keep hope alive, and remember, you're somebody.